heat strips on because I'm in the cool mode, it's winter time, and I turned off my condenser fan motor because I don't want that hot gas just going out into the atmosphere. I actually want it used to thaw out the oil. Timmy, do you need to be okay with everything? All right, so everybody understands that part, right? So, if you want to check one of those defrost thermostats, and you're wondering why this thing didn't go into defrost, or that's what you suspect, if it's cold enough outside, and remember, at about 40 degrees, I'm going to run about a 20-25 degree coil. I got to have that temperature differential. So technically, if the coil was going to be at 20 to 25, what position should that thermostat be in? Closed. So all I got to do is I can come with a meter. Of course, it's not going to tell us now because it's way too warm in here and we're not in the heat mode. But I'll just show you.
Thank you, sir.
Put that out just a little bit.
You gonna make this into a DVD series? Yeah. I'll send it to you every day on Facebook. I'll send it to you. How you doing, Officer Nate? You doing good? Good to see you.
All right, if I was in the heat mode, and this goes back to, you remember me showing y'all on the board where you can check the voltage different ways? All I gotta do is take this, and I can go over here and put it on common, and then come over here and put it on red. All right, I've got 26 volts. All right, now I can go to DFT. If I have 26 volts from common to DFT, what does that tell me about my defrost thermostat?
It's closed.
It's closed. All right, now, if that's closed, then what I do, and usually you're going to carry around a little thermostat screwdriver, one of them little tweaker screwdrivers, some guys call them. And you see these two pins right here on the end, and it says test. All right, remember, if I've got it set on 60, it's only going to check to see if it needs to go in defrost once an hour. Well, I don't have an hour to stand here and wait because I'm going to get the house too hot and it might freeze up on me again. What I would do, and just pretend that's the end of the little screwdriver, is I would simply take it, put it between those two pins, and then turn it just a little bit so that it's actually touching both of them. When I do that, what it does, it knocks the time down by a factor of 10. So in about 6 seconds, this thing should go into defrost. If it does not go into defrost, then most likely there's something wrong with the board, okay? But what you've got to do is listen for it and see if anything shifts at all. In other words, let's say that it shuts off the condenser fan and it brings on the heat strips, but it never puts this into the cool mode. Well, what's the first thing I got to make sure of that works before I condemn that board?
Your reversing valve?
Reversing valve. And how can I check the reversing valve? Here's how you would check your reversing valve. I can take, and I know that I've got red here on the board, correct? I can take a jumper with an alligator clip, put it on red, and what would I touch it to?
O.
I touch it to O. If it shifts, when I did that, but it didn't do it in the defrost, then I know it's the board. If it doesn't shift, but now, before that even, I can do the exact same thing because I can go from common to DFT. That'll show me that I've got power actually coming to the board via the defrost thermostat, right? Under the same token, I can go to O, and what should O have? 24 volts. If O does not have 24 volts, then I know that something inside that board's not working right. So let me show you on here what I can actually do. If I take this meter and I go from common to DFT, I should have 24 volts, correct? I just proved that this was working. Right? If I go from one side here to the other side, Well, the condenser fan motor, if it's not running, I know it didn't open. If it's not running, I know it did open, so I don't even need to check it. From here, if I check across here and it's closed, what reading will I get from one side to the other? Everybody agree with that? What do I get? What do I get from here to here if it's closed?
0.
What do I get from there to there if that's open?
24.
What do I get from there to there if it's open?
24.
So you see how I do that?
Yes,
But,
sir.
but I could have done this too. I could have gone from here to here, I'd get 24, to here I'd get 0. 24, 0. Because O is going to the reverse valve, correct? So this goes to the reverse valve. What is this? What's this side? This is going to the heat sequencer. What is this side? If I don't have red up to here, what is it to right there? What do I call it? Remember, this has a coil in it, right? So common comes in, goes through the coil, and then goes here. This comes into the reverse valve, which is a coil, and then comes here. So if this is open, this is red, this is common. See what I mean? So you can check it either way. Or you can turn the power off and check it using what? Continuity. On this one, you can't really do that because if I kill the power to the defrost board, what happens?
It's not charged.
Right, so it's not telling anything to do anything. And remember, this is going to go back to the way it would normally be without power, which means that those the one to my condenser fan would be closed and the other two would be open. Now, you can do a continuity check if, let's say that it's always stuck in cool and you can't get it to go in heat. If you come out here and from common to O, you got power, and you pull that off and it shifts into the heat mode, but you're not calling for cool, what would you look for next? I got 24 volts on that orange wire coming from inside. What could it be now? In other words, as long as I leave that orange wire off, I'm in the heat mode. But I can't leave the orange wire off, can I? Because I have to energize that orange wire during defrost. But if I have power to it, and I didn't tell it to have power to it, what could it be? There's only two possibilities.
Thermostat itself.
Thermostat itself could be bad, sending the signal to the orange wire. Let's say the thermostat's good. What is it now?
The board.
Huh?
The board. The board.
Nope, board's good.
Wire touching, the orange wire touching the power source.
The orange wire's touching red somewhere. That's the only other thing it can be. If the signal is not actually coming from the thermostat, it has to be touching another wire. It doesn't just mysteriously happen, okay? All right, so now that we know all that, now we can go ahead and pump it down again. Now we know we got a low pressure switch. We're not going to go to the trouble of trying to get in there and bypass the low pressure switch.
So we're looking for the low side to go down to 0, right?
And, well, the high side as well. See, the high side has to come down as well. See, you got right at 60 and 180. Watch the high side. As the low side starts coming down, now you can actually speed this up a little bit. Anybody tell me how?
Activating more pressure through the voltmeter. More pressure to the voltmeter.
Pressure in the voltmeter?
Yes.
Voltmeter reads voltage, not pressure. All I got to do is open this valve, because this one's on, right? Open up this valve, then I open up this valve. Watch that low side. See it pull down? Now, because now it's just going through the manifold. Okay, now we can turn it off. Go ahead and turn it off. Just reach up and kill the breaker. Okay, you heard it shift? But it's all in there now, and it's not here. Now you might think, well, wait a minute, now I'm in a vacuum on this side, right? So I'm gonna suck air in, aren't I? Is that okay though?
It's shut off there, so how you gonna?
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this. This is in a negative to the room, to atmospheric. So when I take that fitting loose, what's gonna happen?
It's gonna suck in air.
It's gonna suck in air to the line set, not to the unit. I can purge it out, not to mention the fact that technically, if I change out that orifice, unless this unit was just turned on within the last week or so, what do I have to do when I open up this system?
Change the filter dryer.
I'm gonna change the filter dryer, and then what am I gonna do? What do? Let's say I walk up, I undo this, I'm gonna put in a new orifice, then I'm gonna go to the truck and get my torch and everything, and I'm gonna put in a new filter dryer. What's the next thing I do? I leak check it. What happens after I leak check it? What's the next thing I do after I leak check it?
Purge it.
Purge it, then what? Come on guys, I've leak checked it, I purged it with nitrogen, now what do I have to do?
Well, you'd have to open the valves back up.
Okay, so I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna open these valves back up with all that nitrogen in this line.
You have to evacuate it.
Oh, there we go. What kind of an evacuation? Triple evac. Might as well, right? I had it open. And what did I tell y'all that we run into mostly with problems? What is it that somebody does or doesn't do?